How are we doing today, man? I want to make this video because I think this is the best possible way to use prop firms to become a full-time trader and make a full-time living from trading through prop firms. The cheapest, most cost-efficient way possible, but also not wasting time, right? Because time's important. We don't want to sit here and be trading for 3 years to build up one account, right? You're never going to get rich trading one account. You have to copy trade. It's about getting as much leverage as you can. It's about getting as much allocation as you can. And I have put so much time into thinking about my plan for myself going forwards and what I want to do and how I want to do it. And I was like, man, I have to make a video on this method because this is literally the most perfect way to trade props. Knowing the advantages and which firms you should be using is the key. All right, so we're starting out with the first part of this plan, which is the most important thing, my funded futures. So I'm currently running this method myself. We're halfway past the eval. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, right? Like this is actually the best way. Like I'm only making this video because it's what I'm going to do to become a full-time trader. Start with the My Funded Futures core account. Start with the core. Start at the core. I can't emphasize this enough. Start at the core level. Once you become an advanced trader, you're making payouts here, everywhere, whatever, you can do other accounts. There's a lot of good accounts. The scales are really good, but start with the core. This is crucial. You buy the core plan for $77 a month. What is the most important part of this method though? So yeah, any new users right now, 50% off for their first challenge. It is literally ridiculous. Code Diego. So the crucial thing about this is you have to be aggressive on the actual combine, right? I know it's $77. I know I said cost effective, and I'm out here vouching that you either pass or blow it within the week. You are capping your expenses, your out-of-pocket trading expenses to $300 a month. You load that account up, the core plan, you're risking heavy, you're either losing 1,000 or you're making 1,500. You're risking heavy, but on good setups. You wait. We're not just practicing bad habits and gambling. We are doing legit trading. It's a combine, but you're going aggressively, right? You obviously wouldn't slap two minis on a normal trade when you're trying to trade for real, but when you're on the combine, you're going for it because these accounts are cheap and they're meant to either be passed or blown within the week. It's not worth your time. You're not going to make any money if you spend 2 months on a combine. If you've never passed a combine before and you've never gotten a payout, don't just full port, right? Take your time, practice for cheap, practice on an eval, build your skill. I will always advocate for just building your skill first, but this is what you do. You find a setup where you can have a 25-point stop loss. Yes, you could get wicked out and get unlucky if it drops down, but you wait for a real setup. Again, we're not practicing bad habits. We're not just full porting. We're not just gambling, right? You can if you want, but it's going to be less probable and you're going to just develop bad habits. So you see a great setup. You have a 25-point stop loss. You target 38.5 points. That's $1,500. So boom, you waited, boom, take this trade. Hit for the day, right? You made the 1,500, obviously stop. You do that again. I'm not going to sit here. You still have to be profitable to make money from prop firms. You can't just run a method and magically make money if you don't know how to find trades. So I'm not going to be able to sit here and give you guys, I can't pass your accounts for you. I can't pass my accounts. There is no more cost on these accounts. So it's $77. But you're budgeting in that at least every week you're buying a new one, right? Because you either pass, fail, right? Pass, fail. So worst case, you fail. This is the most important part of the method. You don't go on tilt. Because what are we doing? The reason why I'm saying not with the full port accounts is because you can sit there and reset and lose accounts all week. You could be looking at $77 times 50, right? And be down $3,000 because you just keep losing. So you still don't want a full port because if you're still really trading, you're doing one trade a day. If you lose 1,000, you call it. You say, you know what, we lost because you're still taking good setups. Because you're still taking good trades. So you're still taking good trades. You lose, you don't blow the account one day. If you lose the account on Tuesday, let's say you lose your first trade, you stop, come back the next day, you lose the next day. You're not allowed to buy another account until the next week. That's why it's important to take legit trades because you want to be patient. You see a trade, you either win, you step away, or you lose and you step away because you're still trying to become a good trader. You're still trying to practice good habits. You're trying to do the right thing. So let's say that you fail 1 week. Cool. Let's say you fail on a Wednesday. Well, you wait because you know that you're budgeting in $300 a month. And the reason why this is important is because $77 times 4, right? Times this by 12 months in the year, that is $3,600 a year. $3,690 in the year. So almost $4,000. I know that sounds like a lot, but I promise you this is the best way to where you're giving yourself a lot of attempts But out of pocket, the worst case scenario for you if you blew an account every single week. You blew one account every single week for 12 months straight. You would only lose $4,000. And again, you shouldn't do this method if you're not profitable. So don't run this method if you're not profitable. If you're not profitable, stay on eval for as long as possible. Trade micros, build the skill, get comfortable with your model. This is only for people that actually should be full-time traders that just don't have the capital. We are building a trading bankroll, just like a poker bankroll. You build a trading bankroll, you do it the right way, right? Again, people, unless you're rich, you don't just start with a $100,000 bankroll for poker. You build it up by grinding small stakes, playing 1-2, right? Playing small games, playing small tournaments, $50 buy-in tournaments, right? You don't start by playing a $4,000 tournament. Even if you're a great poker player, if you don't have a bankroll, it is not smart to go and buy a $4,000 tournament because you're putting it all on one bullet. So again, this method is for people that are trying to build their bankroll, that are good traders. I know I'm a good trader. I know most of you guys watching this video are probably good traders. So what is nice about the fact that we can guarantee $300 a month? I know this is going to hurt some of you guys, and I'm not going to censor this word, but you got to have a job. You got to have I'm so sorry to have to say this. I didn't want to have a job for the longest time, but it actually just held me back, right? Not spending money on yourself in the trading space, in the trading journey is holding you back. I'm not saying to go spend thousands a month and just blow all your money. Any money you have, blow it on evals, trying to like chase the dragon basically, right? I'm not saying that at all. Don't do that. But you still have to pay money, right? You can't sit there. I used to just try and never pay money. I haven't paid money for prop firms since before I got my first payout. I spent 3 months where I didn't pay for any prop firms because I was just trading one account because I was just trying to hold on to it for forever. That's not a good method. It's good when you're trying to learn, to trust yourself, to build consistency, but it's not a good method long term to make money. So, cool. Why are we keeping our monthly expenses the same? So worst case scenario, again, if you blow the account each week for 4 straight weeks in the month, you're down $300. But what's important about getting the job? You get the job, the job, right, that you guys don't want, that we don't want, or some sort of way to make money, right? I coach soccer. That's what I do. I coach soccer. Obviously, I make money if you guys use my affiliate code, but I coach soccer to make money because I don't have enough money to afford to live my life from trading. So I have to coach. I have to do something. You find a job, whatever that is. Doesn't matter to me what you do, right? Just get a job, get money coming in. I know that without a doubt, I will get paid enough money to spend $300. I can budget in $300. Figure out a way to budget in $300. So that way it's like, okay, cool. This is a tuition. I don't know how much I'm going to spend this month. I don't know how much I'm going to spend this month because I'm just going to get 20 accounts. And I just dropped $2,000. Hopefully I make it back. Oh, I lost those accounts after my first week, right? If you get a set of accounts and you blow in one day and you buy more and then you blow those and you don't know, it's a bottomless pit. You can lose everything in these markets. People lose hundreds and thousands of dollars trading prop firms. How do you think these props pay out? It's from people failing. It's from activation. Like, prop firms are profitable. You have to remember that they're profitable for a reason, right? So if you're blowing sets and sets and sets of accounts, and it can be an endless hole. That's why capping yourself at a $300 every single month, worst case $300. That's it. That's all it can be. That's the best method. So enough being said about that, because that's the really important piece. I want you guys to understand. Treat this like a business. Don't treat it like a game. Don't treat it like a casino. Treat it like a business. It's ROI. You're spending $300 a month, $3,500, $4,000 a year max. That's it. That's all you're spending out of pocket. But guess what? You're working that job until you become a full-time trader. You haven't earned the right to be a full-time trader. You don't have the bankroll to do it. So you're working the job to cover your fees until you become a full-time trader, because this method will allow you to become a full-time trader, guaranteed. As long as you're a profitable trader, you'll build a ridiculous portfolio and funding and be able to just withdraw tons of money. I'm going to get to that. Obviously, I'm going to get to that. This is a very important part of the bankroll building, right? So you have the account. Enough yapping about that. You have the account and you finally pass it. The reason, again, why these are so good is because there's no activation fee. So what happens? What are the actual rules here? How does this actually work? So you only need $100 days. You'll need $100 days. You have $2,000 drawdown. You're still going to trade these accounts aggressively. And I'm not saying you're full porting, but aggressively as in 5 micros. Each trade, you're doing 1 trade a day still. 1 trade a day. You win, you get off. You lose, you get off. Because again, all of this it shouldn't even have to be said that you're going to trade as good as you can. That shouldn't even be stated, right? We're trading as best as we can. So what's happening now? So now you have an account, you have $2,000 to lose, and you're still trading. You're trading at 5 micros. So what does that look like? $2,000 account, 5 micros. That's $10 a point. You have $200, 200 points to lose. If you net lose 200 points from your trading, you lose your account. Core plan, 50K payout. You can earn up to $5,000, right? On these accounts, you can request a payout after 5 winning days, at least $100 net profit per day. Minimum withdrawal, $250. Doesn't really matter. Maximum request. This is the key part. This is the important part. Maximum request. What does that mean? You can only withdraw $1,000 from these accounts. That's the max you can pay out. But that's fine because this is what the method's about. Or the reason why these accounts are so good though, even though you can only withdraw $1,000, is because you can get 80% of the profit. So it's none of the 50% like on Top Step. Do this is 1,000 divided by 0.8, and that gives you what you need for the profit split to make $1,000, right? You need to make $1,250. You're not going to be spending years and years and years, but if you trade well, you will make $1,250 in about 2 weeks if you're trading well, give or take. Why? Because divided by $10 a point, right? 5 micros, $2 a point, 5 micros, 10. You need to net 125 points. So if you can net 125 points on the NASDAQ, you will get a max payout of $1,000. That leads us to step 2. This is the important part. Every single time Apex drops 90% off, or even 80%, really just depends on how much you want to spend. But really pay attention to when they drop the activation fee to about $85. Every single time Apex does this, again, you're trying to stack as many max payouts because this is now you're building your bankroll. But in the meantime, Apex isn't always running 90% off. Again, code Diego, whenever they do run the 90% off, you get the best discount every single time with my code on any of the firms I'm with. When Apex is not doing 90% off, and if you have bankroll built up, right, you took a My Fund Futures payout, you're going to reinvest. Always. You're reinvesting, because again, we're trying to hit a state where we can actually full-time trade. You full port it, and you can get up to 3 accounts that you can copy trade. The reason why you're getting Alpha Futures accounts is because the platform is really good and the rules are unbelievable. Slowly work towards 20 Apex accounts. Again, every single 90% off sale. Try and add 2 to 3 to your portfolio, right? So then I have 3 now. Whenever the 90% happens again, I'm going to stack more and stack more and stack more until you have 20. Once you have 20, you're working on building the balance. So right now I'm working on building the balance. This is where I'm trading 1 to 2 micros, right? Trade 1 to 2 micros on each account. It's going to be slow, but you only have $1,500 to draw them. Don't blow these accounts. Don't just full pour them. Don't just try and, I have 20 accounts, and if I just trade 1 mini across, no. Build them up, because this is where the math starts playing in your favor, right? If once you get 20 Apex accounts, if you trade 2 micros in each of those accounts, that's 40 micros. That means for 40 micros, it's $2 a point. That's $80 every single point on the NASDAQ. You make $80. Let's say you net 100 points on the month. 100 points on the month. Added 80 times 100. You made $8,000 with 2 micros trading the NASDAQ. You are working on building a balance. This is a long-term play. Once you have a buffer built, then anything you make is money you can withdraw at the end of the month. So you're starting to be able to see how this comes together. So that's the key. You're trying to get to 20 accounts in Apex that you slowly grind up while trading more aggressively on here. Why? Why do you use Apex or Alpha Futures? Alpha Futures, you get 90% profit share, and they have the most insane rules with payouts. Dude, the reason why I would say the 100K accounts is because you have $4,000 to lose. And when you withdraw the payout, the buffer doesn't follow you. Your balance is $0. You can't lose 4K, and the profit, whatever. So let's say you trade. You get your 5 $200 days, $200 days, right? And you times that by 5, you make $1,000. So now your account is up $1,000 in profit. Your max loss limit now is trailed to negative 3K. So you still have that $4,000, right? You still have $4,000, and this looks so sloppy, but bear with me. I'm just trying to make an example. So because you have $1,000, you have your 5 winning days, so you're eligible for a payout. You have $3,000 and the $1,000 you're up, so you have $4,000 of room, and this is where it's ridiculously disgusting. You can withdraw a payout of 90%, so times that by 0.9. So right there, you have $1,000. Obviously, it's gonna be $900, but just to show the math, right? You can withdraw $900, and you might be saying, "Hey, that kind of stinks, right? Because then now is my account like I don't have any buffer?" No. Alpha Futures literally leaves your buffer at the 3K. So now you still have $3,000 of drawdown till you blow the account, and you've already gotten paid out $900. It's literally some of the most ridiculous rules, and you can copy trade 3 accounts. So any money you make from these accounts, you reinvest. You get more accounts, and eventually you're going to reach a state where you have not unlimited capital, but where you start really doing this, and you don't have to throw thousands of dollars at prop firms away. So the method really is simple. My funded futures, because it's $77 a month, you know exactly what you're going to spend. Pass the account, get the max payout, use the max payout to stack Apex accounts on any 90% off sale. Then always have Alpha Futures accounts. And once you have the 20 accounts here, and if you have the 3 accounts and you're not blowing them, then you can go to TopStep. TopStep is still a good firm, still good to get allocation with them. The trade copier on Project X platform is good, but they're the last firm to max allocate. And then boom, now you have max allocation there, and now you have 5 accounts on TopStep. You have 3 accounts on Alpha Futures. You have all the accounts on Apex, and you still are going to trade the Apex with 2 micros or 3 micros, depending on your buffer. Trade it conservatively, because this is your ticket to full time. This is your ticket to becoming a full-time trader, and you start making really, really good money because you have the 20 accounts. So it's about building your bankroll, getting the 20 accounts here, getting the 3 on Alpha Futures, and you can trade more aggressively on this one. You can maybe trade 1 mini per trade because this is free money, right? The My Funded Futures is all you're paying for. Any other account you get outside of My Funded Futures is essentially free money, because you're only buying other accounts with payout money. So you're not even putting up money. You're not losing money. Yes, you have to spend $1,000. Yes, if you buy an account, even if it came from a payout, you're still losing money, right? You had money in your bank account that you paid to someone else, and now it's not in your bank, right? But you are still coming out so far ahead. You're coming out so far ahead because that's not your actual money. You're only actually spending $300 a month, and that's why I think that this is the best possible guide to making yourself a full-time trader and building up a trading bankroll and becoming a full-time trader with props alone. You can really do this. You can really make 6 figures a year easily from prop firms, easily. But you have to, if you want to do it in the most cost-efficient way, this is a way that I'm going to do, and it's literally $300 a month maximum. That's like the utmost I can spend in a month out of pocket, and I can become a full-time trader with that. A very, very clear pipeline through my Funded Futures core account, stacking Apex, stacking Alpha Futures, using code Diego as well on all those will get you the best discount all the time. Use code Diego if you're going to run this method yourself on My Funded Futures, code Diego. Apex, when it goes 90% off, code Diego gets you that. Alpha Futures, whatever the best deal is, code Diego. So if you guys think this made sense, if you guys like this video, please subscribe. I mean, I just dropped the sauce for y'all. Like, I genuinely believe that this is the most efficient. I genuinely believe this is the most efficient method to become a full-time prop trader. I really do. I don't think anyone's made a video this direct pipeline of how to actually do this for $300 a month. Like, that's cheap as you can get in this game. So like the video, subscribe if you're new, if you haven't seen my channel. Subscribe. Let me know, are you guys going to adopt this type of approach, right? Because again, the biggest thing to start is when you're starting out as a trader, take your time, learn the skill. Once you have the skill, once you have an edge, once you know you're profitable, you can't afford thousands of dollars up front because you don't know, right? That, again, it's kind of like one bullet on a poker tournament. You could be good at poker, but you can buy in for $4,000 in a tournament and lose, right? So we want to spread out our chips, have a better chance, and treat this like a business. Treat props like a business. People don't do this enough. People don't talk about this enough. People don't talk about the actual art of scaling these props to do it full time. So you go and you do it slowly but surely, and then eventually you have the money coming in, and you can get whatever firms you want. You can spend whatever you want, but this is how you get to that point where you see all these people like, how does this guy have 5 accounts, 10 accounts? Bro, you don't want to be going into debt trying to become a trader. You can do it for $300 a month. Anyone can afford that. You can work a job and get that money coming in, and you will be wildly successful with this. if this opened your guys' eyes, again, I think the biggest mistake I've been making for so long was trying to just hold on to one account and be really, 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 really tight to that account. Don't be afraid. On my funded futures, don't be afraid to lose the accounts, right? Apex is the one that you want to be a little bit slower, slow grind. My funded futures, you're trading aggressively, you're passing combines quick, trading aggressively, you're trying to get max payouts. Because again, your worst case scenario, you lose $300 a month. Best case scenario, you get a $1,000 payout each time you can, and you're building a bankroll to get more props. You're stacking Apex accounts, you're stacking from funding, and now you're just getting allocated everywhere. So I really appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this video. Hopefully it opened your eyes to a better way to run props and run the prop game, and I hope you guys do abuse this method, because I think that this is literally, I don't know how it took me so long to realize that this is the method. So again, I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe and like the video. If you learned anything, let me know. I want you guys to give me actual feedback on this video. How did you guys like this video? Do you think it was valuable? Am I missing something? Does this method not make sense? Give me some feedback. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. We're trying to hit 6,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.